Hello creepy people and welcome back to my channel. Hope you guys are doing well. I had a oral surgery. I had a tooth extracted about a week ago. So I spent my New Year's laying down watching horror movies and with an ice pack on my face. So it was a very uneventful New Year's. I'm hoping I can get through this video without a lot of pain. I'm still having some pain on this side, like my face is still kind of sore, but out of all the days, this is the best day that I have been feeling, so I'm gonna sit down and film today. Hopefully I don't get too sore, but let's go ahead and jump into it. We are going to be doing the unboxing for the December 2021 horror pack unboxing. Yes, we're still in 2021 with this, but January 2022 pack should be coming soon, but I wanted to unbox the new movies that we got for the month of December. I'm really excited, and I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the new movies first, and then we're gonna jump into the reviews for the November movies. And again, we got a lot to talk about. So I think I'm going to do the first portion of this video unboxing the new movies, and then the second portion we're going to get into the reviews of these movies. Oh bitch. Oh my gosh, do we have a lot to talk about. But you guys have no idea what Horror Pack is. Horror Pack is a horror movie subscription service where every month you get 4 new DVD and or Blu-rays, and they are all horror movie genre related. You have no idea what you're gonna get. It's always a surprise. I love Horror Pack. I've been working with them for many years now. It's a great way to expand your horror movie collection. It's a great way for you to see horror movies that you may have never heard of before. Some of them are really, really good, and some of them are just not. So it's always a surprise. Every single month, you really don't know what you're going to get, but nonetheless, it is very, very fun. So if any of you guys are interested, I will have a link right at the top of the description box. You guys can easily click and check it out. It's not an affiliate link. I'm not making any money off of your clicks. It's just a link for you guys to easily access. Check out the site and see if it is for you. And like I said, they do have Blu-ray packs and DVD packs, so whatever suits your fancy more. But without further ado, let's go ahead and crack this baby open and see what we got for the month of December. I'm really excited. Hopefully we get some good ones. So since this is the December pack, I'm assuming we might get some like Christmassy type videos. Not really sure. I guess we'll find out. All right, so right when you open it, we have 4 new Blu-rays in here, and it looks like we have another one with the slip cover. You guys know how I feel about slip covers. Again, I have no idea what these are. It's literally all just a big surprise. So let's go ahead and start. I'm going to take the one off of the very top first, and the first movie that we got for December 2021 is... Oh, okay, so this one is Mayhem. This is a horror comedy, which for me are kind of hit or misses. Here is what the cover of this one looks like, and it looks like we have Glenn from The Walking Dead. If you guys can see that okay. Looks very interesting. I've never heard of this movie before. I've never seen it. So on the back it says, Derek Cho is having a really bad day. After being unjustly fired from his job, he discovers that the law firm's building is under quarantine for a mysterious and dangerous virus. Oh my god, can we just leave viruses in 2020 and 2021, please? That would be great. Chaos erupts throughout the office as the victims of the disease begin acting out their wildest impulses. Joining forces with a former client who has a grudge of her own, Derek savagely fights tooth and nail to get to the executives on the top floor and settle the score once and for all. Okay, so I don't really quite understand what this movie is about, other than it's about a virus going through an office building. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we have some good actors and actresses in here, so that's always a good, promising thing. I've never seen this. You guys will have to let me know. Have you ever seen the movie Mayhem before? Because this looks very interesting to me. I don't know if I'll like it. Maybe I will. I will watch it and report back to you guys in the month whenever I get the January pack and let you know what I think of it. All right, next I'm going to take the one off the very bottom, the one with the slip cover, because I'm dying to know what this one is. And this one is, okay, so we have another Shudder original, and this is Scare Package. If you don't know the rules, you'll never make it out alive. So here is what the next one looks like. Never heard of this one before. I don't really know what it is about. This was made in 2019. It is about 108 minutes long. On the back it says, Chad Buckley is a lonely horror aficionado, spending his days overseeing a struggling video store and arguing with his only customer, Sam. When an unsuspecting job applicant arrives, Chad sets out to teach him the rules of horror. Okay, again, I don't really understand or know what this one is about, but it is a Shudder original, so I'm assuming it is on Shudder. So if you guys want to watch this one with me and you have a Shudder subscription, you guys can check it out with me. But very interesting. So I'm assuming this is just one movie. And when I first saw it, I thought it was going to be like a bunch of different movies, but it looks like it's just one. And there is a little like card in here advertising Shudder, and this picture always makes me so uncomfortable because of this guy right here. He's covered in teeth, and that, I don't know, every time I see this picture, it always just makes me really uncomfortable because I'm like, I want to like pluck all the teeth out. Every time I see that picture, I'm just like, what the fuck is that? We have 2 movies left here, and I know one of them is going to be a Horror Pack Limited Edition. I'm going to take the one off the very bottom again. The third movie that we got for December 2021 is the Horror Pack Limited Edition, and this one is called Pool Party Massacre. So here is what the cover of this one looks like. Very, very cool cover. That's one thing I will give the Horror Pack Limited Editions credit for, is they always have the coolest cover art for their movies. So the Horror Pack Limited Editions are more or less kind of like indie movies, kind of like lower budget films or up and coming filmmakers. So some of them are just really cheesy and not very good, and sometimes they're actually really good. Like, I've had quite a few Horror Pack Limited Editions that have shocked me, so I'm hoping this one will be the same. It says, worst pool party ever. This was made in 2016. It is about 81 minutes long. And on the back it says, what started out as a relaxing summer day by the pool for a group of high-maintenance young socialites quickly becomes a nightmare when an unknown killer begins stalking and murdering them one by one. Okay, so this is reminding me of that one Horror Pack Limited Edition we got. I think it was called like Scream Test or something. I'm getting very similar vibes between that one and this one. Hopefully this one is a little bit better than that one. And it also says a blood-splattered homage to 80s slasher flicks. Okay. Interesting. The other thing this kind of reminded me of is Slumber Party Massacre, which is like a slasher film from the 70s, I believe, and I absolutely love that movie. So I'm wondering if they're going to kind of mimic that kind of style of horror movie, which I think would be really cool. I kind of want to watch this one first because this one is like really tickling my fancy. Okay, and the grand finale, the final movie that we got for the month of December 2021 is... Oh, okay, so the next one that we got, let me get the little plastic wrap off here. This movie is called The Shed. Okay, this one looks right up my alley. This was made in 2020. It is 97 minutes long. This looks, you know, the cover of this one definitely looks like something I would gravitate towards. And it says, from the executive producer of the Saw franchise. So if any of you out there are huge Saw fans, this might be a good one for you guys to watch. And on the back it says, Stan and his best friend Dahmer have put up with bullies their entire lives. All of that changes when Stan discovers a murderous vampire living in his shed. He knows he must destroy it, but Dahmer has a much more sinister plan. Okay, so I'm assuming he's going to take all of those bullies and put them in the shed with this little vampire type thing that's living in the shed. So yeah, I'm very curious about this one. I've never seen it. I've never heard of it, but I have a feeling I may enjoy this one. So I will, again, have to watch this one and report back to you guys. It is a relatively newer movie, and I don't think I've ever seen any trailers for this, or I don't even think it was in theaters. So yeah, you guys will have to let me know. Have you seen this? Have you heard of this? Holla at your girl. Okay guys, and those are all of the movies that we got for the month of December 2021. I think the two that I'm most excited about is The Shed and also the Horror Pack Limited Edition. I don't know, I'm getting good vibes from these two. These two I'm really going to have to watch and pay attention to because I don't really quite understand them. So hopefully they are easy movies to follow. And I will get to watching these guys. And by the time the January pack shows up, I can let you know what I thought of these. But yeah, those are all of the December movies. Really excited about it. So now that we have all of the new movies unboxed and revealed to you guys, we can go ahead and move on to the review portion of this video. These are all of the movies that we got for the month of November 2021. And, oh boy, wow. Okay, so let's just go ahead and get right into it because I have a lot to say. The first one I want to talk about is this guy right here. This is Deathcember. You guys remember me unboxing this guy. Basically, this is 24 short horror films, and they are all related around the Christmas season. It's like a 24-day advent calendar of horror films. Now, I gave this one an overall rating of 3 out of 5. There was only a very small handful of these short horror films that I would watch again. Some of them, there's 3 of them that I absolutely hated. There is 5 of them that I really liked that stuck out to me, and the rest of them were just kind of okay. I do believe that this is also on Shudder if you guys wanted to check this out. I know Christmas is over, but if you're into like short horror films, maybe this would interest you. The 3 that I absolutely hated, one of them I didn't really understand what it had to do with Christmas, but basically, and also another thing is a lot of these were foreign short stories, so you do have to watch with subtitles, and you do have to really pay attention, otherwise you're not going to know what's going on. There was a great handful of these that were in a foreign language, which, you know, is totally fine. I don't have a problem with that. One of them was like a containment center. I don't even know how to describe it. It was very weird. All of the short stories were 5 minutes or under. A lot of them were only like 2 minutes long. So I watched this one relatively quickly because all of the short stories were pretty short. So yeah, there was like a containment center one that was day number 3. The other one I didn't like was day number 7. And that was kind of like a black and white silent film with like Quasimodo, and that one was kind of stupid, honestly. Didn't really like that one at all. And the one that I absolutely hated, that I found to be so incredibly disturbing and disgusting, was day number 9. Now, when I started day number 9 for that short story, I was really excited because it looked really cute. It was like a stop motion animated film, and I was like, oh, this one's going to be really cute. No, that one was so disturbing, and I literally, like, my stomach turned while I was watching it. I don't really know what to say besides, it had a lot of, it focused around child R-word, rhymes with grape, child grape. Did not like that one. That was absolutely fucking disgusting. Wish I could have gone the rest of my life without seeing that one. That one was disgusting. So those were the top 3 that stuck out to me that I did not like. The 5 that I did like, there was one that made me laugh, and that was day number 5. And it's basically where this guy is like in a coma or on life support, and the only thing that can keep him alive is Christmas carols. It's very weird, but I loved that one. It was so funny. And basically the choir was singing to him for like the next 50 years. It was hilarious. Day number 14 had a really good jump scare. Day number 16 was probably my favorite. Day number 16 and day 21 were probably my favorites out of here. The Milk and Cookies episode, that one was really good. Day 17 was kind of to me, but it did have a good revenge scene. And day 21 is this creepy Santa episode. I really liked that one. I thought that one was great. Yeah, this one overall was just okay. Like I said, there's only a handful of these that I would watch again. Some in that one, day number 9, that really gross, disgusting, disturbing short story. That kind of ruined the whole thing for me. I could have easily gone the rest of my life without ever seeing anything like that again. The next one is the Horror Pack Limited Edition, and this is The Last Thanksgiving. This one I gave 1.5 out of 5 stars. So this movie takes place on Thanksgiving Day in the town of Terrapass. There's a girl named Lisa Marie. She ends up having to work on Thanksgiving. She works in a restaurant and she's really pissed off that she has to go to work on Thanksgiving, which I totally understand. I used to work for food service and I used to have to work every single Thanksgiving and it was kind of shitty. So I totally understand where she was coming from. She's in a terrible mood. And okay, low key, I know this is a movie and I know it's fake, but the way she treats her boss and the way she talks to her boss, if this were like a real life situation, she would be fired in like 2.5 seconds because she is just a sassy bitch when it comes to the way she speaks to like her boss and her coworkers. Like, girl, you need to calm down. And basically what happens is there is this family that is kind of like cultish vibes, and they're basically They go to this restaurant and they start killing everyone in the restaurant all because they don't celebrate Thanksgiving, which who the fuck cares? Like, there are people all over the world that don't celebrate holidays. There are people who don't celebrate Christmas, Halloween, Thanksgiving, 4th of July, Arbor Day. Like, who cares? But, I mean, that's the whole premise of this movie. This family comes to the restaurant. They start killing everyone because they don't celebrate. And basically, the murderers and the kidnappers are actually cannibals. So, they're not actually eating traditional Thanksgiving food. They're eating people, which technically you're not celebrating Thanksgiving either, because we all know Thanksgiving is all about eating turkey, right? I mean, I know there's like deeper roots to Thanksgiving, but typically on Thanksgiving you have a full buffet of turkey, mashed potatoes, green beans, you know, all that stuff, but they're eating people. So like, what are you doing? Huh? What are you doing? And the reason they're doing this is because they have this like ancestor or this relative. It's very confusing, but they're kind of like continuing a tradition based on what their relative did back in the day. And the one thing that kind of like shocked me is apparently they do this every year with people, but they're not very smart. It's like they don't really know what they're doing, because there's one scene in this movie where they kidnap 3 of the restaurant workers and they bring them back to their house to have Thanksgiving dinner. And before they do that, they give each of them a phone. They give them each a phone so they can call their families and say, hey, like, I'm stuck at work. I'm not going to make it home, blah, blah, blah. What I would have done is I wouldn't have called a relative. I would have called 911 and I would have ordered a pizza. You know what I mean? You know, that little like language where if you can't really say you're in trouble, you can like order a pizza. I would have done that. The fact that these kidnappers literally trusted them with a phone to call whoever they wanted, that's just stupid. If you know what you're doing, you're not going to give your hostages a phone to call whoever they want. And also, none of the hostages ever called 911. None of them. They all called their families and made up an excuse. Fuck that shit. I would never do that. Another thing is when they're at the table getting ready to have Thanksgiving dinner, all the hostages have knives at their table. Like, and also none of them used a knife to escape. I mean, one of them used it to like cut the ropes they were in, but like, what the fuck, kidnappers? Like, you're gonna give your hostages sharp objects that they could very easily use against you? It was just like, what are you doing? Have you never done this before? The only very cool death was actually the cover of this movie. This is actually a scene from the movie, and it's basically where she kills someone with a turkey cutter, one of those electric ones. I thought that was really cool. But basically, this is all about a like survival. The hostages eventually get out, they conquer, they survive. It's great. Overall, it really wasn't a great movie. It was very cheesy. Some parts were kind of dragged out. It wasn't really, I don't know, it wasn't really great. I have a very hard time with indie movies. A lot of the times, they're just not my thing. I am much more like a mainstream movie kind of person. The next one. This one was my favorite one out of all of them, and that was, of course, Dracula 3D. Now, when I unboxed this one, I talked about how frustrating it was that this did not come with 3D glasses, but when I put the movie in, there wasn't even an option to watch it in 3D. It just started like any other movie, so I'm kind of confused as to what the 3D means. I mean, maybe they meant like 3 sets of D-sized tits. I don't know. This one I gave 4 out of 5 stars. This one is very, 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 very similar to the Bram Stoker's Dracula, which we did receive in a horror pack couple years ago, I think. And I absolutely love that one. I love how whimsical that one is. And I think compared to this one and the Bram Stoker's one, I much prefer Bram Stoker's Dracula more than this one. Even though I did really, really like this one, I enjoyed it. And, you know, I love the Dracula movies. I really do. I find them romantic. I find them sexy. I find them, you know, I love everything about these movies. I think they're great. And the one thing that drove me nuts that I could not get over in this movie is Jonathan, the, like, husband that gets, like, you know, brought to Dracula's castle. His wig in this movie is so god-awful. It literally just looks like dry, stiff, synthetic hair. Like, his wig in this movie drove me absolutely nuts. That's the one thing I could not get over. Every time he was on a scene, I was like, oh my god, why didn't they give you a better quality wig? Like, their budget must have ran the fuck out when it came to wigs, because, oh my god, it was awful. It had very cool and very awesome, like, Halloween-y type music throughout the whole movie, which I really appreciated. And another really cool thing is the girl who plays Mina in this movie, she also plays Rosaria in the movie The Rite with Anthony Hopkins. And Anthony Hopkins plays Van Helsing in the Bram Stoker's Dracula, which I just thought that was a cool full circle moment. Like, I really appreciated that. The next 2 movies that actually come as one movie, this was the drive-in double feature, and that is where we had the movie Sky Sharks and Bunny the Killer Thing. Oh, you guys, I want to talk about Bunny the Killer Thing, okay? I want to talk about it. This one, I gave 1 out of 5 stars. What the fuck? First of all, the menu screen for Bunny the Killer Thing, where you can hit play, you know, extras, scene selection, the menu screen was very cocky? There was a very large one. I do believe that this is a Finnish movie. There are some English parts, and there are some parts where they are speaking Finnish. So it's one of those movies, again, where you have to sit down and pay attention so you know what everyone is saying, so you really can kind of get the gist of this movie. I mean, let's be honest, you don't really need to pay too much attention to understand what the F is going on in this movie, because, oh my god. And I honestly, to be perfectly honest, I can't give a full rundown of what this movie is about without getting completely demonetized by YouTube. It was an insanely filthy, dirty, raunchy movie, okay? It was just... It's funny, it's weird, it's disgusting, it's very, like, what the fuck? The bunny suit, like, because this guy, like, he gets, like, an injection of something, and he turns into this bunny with this ginormous rock. It rhymes with rock. And he's after stuff. I'm sorry, I really can't go into depth about what this movie is about because it is just so wrong. But in the bunny suit that they put him in is just so fucking awful. It's so bad. There was one part that made me just fucking die laughing, okay? So there's a part in the movie where it's this guy and this girl named Sarah, and they meet and they go to their, like, cabin and start, like, partying it up or whatever, and things are getting a little bit spicy between them. I can't remember the guy's name, but he kind of had, like, an Irish accent, but I can't remember his name. Anyway, things start getting a little spicy between them, and, you know, they're about to do the horizontal tango, and they're in the bathroom together, and Sarah has had a little too much to drink. I mean, we've all been there. And Sarah ends up passing out. And this guy is a really good guy. He's like, okay, like, she's clearly not able to consent right now. I'm gonna go lay her down so she can sleep it off. So, I mean, round of applause for the Irish-speaking dude. He gets her into this bedroom and he lays her down on the bed. And, you know, he gets her, like, all tucked in or whatever, and he leans down and he says, I had a really good time with you tonight, Sarah. And Sarah doesn't say anything, but she just burps. Like, he's like, I had a really good time with you tonight, Sarah. And she's like, bah. I fucking rolled because I'm like, that is so me. Like, when I'm wasted and I'm like, I'm not sexy when I'm wasted. I'm just like burping, I'm throwing up, I'm pissing my pants. So I don't know. I mean, to be perfectly honest with you, I would say if you're just looking for something that's just gonna blow your mind out of the water with whoever made this movie, watch it. Someone actually left me a comment on this unboxing and they said, I am Finnish, but this movie makes me not proud to be Finnish. And I just started laughing because I'm like, yeah, I mean, it's not a great movie. All right, and then the last one is the other one, which is Sky Sharks. This one I gave about 1.5, 2 out of 5 stars. Basically, this movie, and I have notes here, Nazi radioactive zombie guys that ride these sharks in the sky. Did y'all follow that? I had a very hard time paying attention to this movie because, to be perfectly honest with you, this is not my type of movie. I did, however, get some Sucker Punch vibes with, like, some of the scenes and the music. I was like, ooh, this kind of reminds me of Sucker Punch. But as far as the rest of the movie, I just couldn't really get into it. I had a very hard time paying attention to it. I appreciate the concept of it. I appreciate how it was filmed. It was filmed very well. It had very cool electronic techno music. I really, like, the one thing that impresses me most about movies is I really pay attention to the score and the music that they use in the movies. That kind of makes or breaks it for me. So they did have very cool music in this. The very, very beginning scene with the airplane and when the sharks first make their appearance in the sky, that was really cool. And also, can you just imagine that in a real life situation? You're just on a plane, you know, just waiting to get to your destination. All of a sudden you see a fucking great white shark fly next to you. Bitch, no, absolutely not, okay? I've never been on a plane, but I imagine flying is scary enough. The last thing I fucking need is a shark in the sky as well, okay? And there was like a full backstory to this movie, like why they were doing this. You know, there was a backstory behind like the masterminds and I honestly just couldn't pay attention to it. I couldn't do it. I got very bored. I had a very hard time following it. So this one was probably my least favorite. I would probably watch Bunny the Killer Thing over this one again. And I can't believe I'm saying that. Alrighty guys, so those were all of the reviews from the November 2021 horror pack, and we have all of the new movies for December 2021. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to continue to see horror pack unboxings on my channel, make sure you go down and give it a huge thumbs up. I want to thank you guys so much for watching and hanging out with me and talking about movies. I have so much fun doing these. If you are new to my channel and this is the first video of mine that you are kind of stumbling upon, first I want to welcome you to the family. Make sure you go down and hit that red subscribe button. I do upload every 3 to 4 days here. But as the rest of you, I love you guys so very much. Remember to stay creepy, and I will see you very soon in my next video. I love you guys. Bye!